the lowest ever since the survey started in 1971. So should you refinance? That's the question. And here with the answer is Dani Babb, real estate analyst and author of The Accidental Landlord. Dani, great to have you here. See, I would think that now is the time for everybody to refinance, but you say that's wrong.
It is wrong. First of all, if you're not going to stay in your home long enough to make it worthwhile, you shouldn't do it. And if you're in an excellent loan already, you shouldn't do it.
Okay, so you've put together two scenarios. One for somebody who should refinance. Let's look at the calculation for somebody for whom it makes sense.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, let's say your loan is $400,000 and your interest is about 7%. You got something maybe a couple years ago and you're in the prime market. You're paying about $28,000 a year in interest. And let's say your refinance costs are roughly around $7,000.
See, that's a lot. So to refinance, it costs about $7,000.
It does cost a lot.
You don't just waltz into your bank and do it. So that's a big factor. So if it's $7,000, now you need to figure out how long you're going to stay in your home.
Exactly. So in this particular scenario, we're assuming that you're going to stay at least 1 year. You're going to save $7,000 in interest, and therefore it's a wash. So why not go ahead and do it?
Okay. The next one is somebody who should not refinance. Let's take a look at that full screen. This is somebody who owes $300,000, and they have a pretty good rate, right?
Yeah, about 6% rate in this particular case, which is about $18,000 a year just in interest alone. And then we can assume that their refinance fees are about $5,000. And right now, in this type of loan, this would be a conventional price, about 5.25%, which means that they're now going to pay about $15,750 a year in interest. But in this particular case, they're only saving $27.50 a year, which is about a 2-year break-even point, a little bit less. So if they're going to move in a year, don't refinance. Not worth it.
So basically, everybody has to do those kinds of calculations and figure out how long they plan to stay in their home.
That's really the key. And also there's one other factor, and that's if you have a loan that's about to reset and you're going to be making up for lost time by adding back, paying what you haven't in the past, that's another good reason to refinance.
Great point. You say that you've seen this strange kind of moral ripple effect of all of the government bailouts, that individuals are, I guess, having a moral second look at what they should be doing?
They are. They see banks and auto companies getting bailouts, and they're saying, you know, my neighbor just got $50,000 off of his mortgage. I want $50,000 off mine. And some of them are being intentionally late on their payments because that's the only way that, in some cases, banks will look at them, although that's changing. Many of them are doing what we call buy and bail. They're buying their next home while they have good credit, and then as soon as they get into that home, they know they're going to be in it for 7 years. They let the other one go back to the bank.
That's incredible.
It is.
I mean, so in other words, people are saying, if everybody else is getting bailed out, why not me?
Right, exactly.
All right, Dani Babb, again, great advice for us. Where can people go? I guess I can put some of your suggestions and those full screens on my blog so that people can look at that more closely.
And you can go to my website at drdaniellebabb.com.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for being here. All right, meanwhile, the world's greatest longboard surfer